Hi everyone. Still seem to be having recording problems. I recorded a whole 10-minute video and then it just caught the last few minutes, so I'm hoping that this will go through now. Just to say that I got back from work about an hour ago and I found a message on the answer phone waiting for me. Um, it was surprisingly enough from uh, a Jehovah's Witness that I was very, very close to once upon a time. Um, she took me in together with the rest of her family when I moved out to Italy, or it must be about 22 years ago now. It was whilst I was engaged to my late husband, and they took me in. I lived with them for about 9 months prior to us marrying. We were very, very close. She phoned up, she left a message, she wanted to speak to my son. My son has never been baptised, so therefore, it was safe for her to do so, to phone. He returned the call, and I was sat across the room listening, to the conversation. Obviously, could only hear the one side of the conversation, but then my son told me at the end what the conversation was about, what she'd said. Basically, she just wanted to re-establish links with him. I think it was obviously because she couldn't re-establish links with me, but he did say to her on the phone, why don't you speak to mum, or you should speak to mum. Apparently she didn't say anything, she didn't reply anything to that. She just basically carried on the conversation, and towards the end of the conversation she said, well, I do wish that one day I will be able to speak to your mum. Obviously in her mind's eye, that day will be the day that I return into the fold, which is not going to happen. So it's a long time. She's going to be waiting a long time. Just to say, it's like a blast from the past, totally unexpected. The last time my son had any communication with her and with her family was about 3 years ago. They tried then to re-establish links with him, but he actually let things slide because although he does have memories of them, he has memories of them from when he was a little boy, and he is now 20. Um, I obviously used to take him to the meetings, to the Kingdom Hall and everything as a child, but that never stuck with him. He never really absorbed it, thank goodness. So his memories of them are of us going to their home, having meals together, and them babysitting him from time to time. Uh, but he let that slide. That communication he had with them a few years ago, he let that slide. And this time round, I think time's gone on, and she did actually say to him while they were speaking on the phone that she'd been thinking about us a lot lately. And this just goes to show really how uh, the organisation has this power over the people that are still in there, obviously, because it quashes it stops the natural inclination of the person to reach out to someone that they still care for and care about. Now, obviously, if you think about someone to the point where you kind of try and make, establish communication again, try and get in touch with them again, must mean that that person, means something to you. And like I say, they're unable to reach out to me to make contact with me because the rules say that I'm an apostate, disassociated myself, so therefore I'm out of bounds. But he's not out of bounds, so therefore they're going in through the back door, so to speak. He was very good. He spoke to her on the phone for about 15 minutes. She asked about what he's doing nowadays, his taste in music, his hobbies, things like that. She almost like wanted to get reacquainted with him now, because the last time she actually saw him, he was a little boy, and now he's a grown man. So they've swapped email addresses. She's going to search him out on Facebook, or should I say her youngest daughter is going to search him out on Facebook and add him as a friend. And through adding him as a friend, I dare say they'll obviously be able to look at my profile, at my Facebook, you know, um, page, and catch up with what's been happening in our lives, the timeline and the rest of it that tells, everyone what you've been doing, where you've been, photographs, statuses, everything. Um, it really kind of annoys me. I wouldn't say it upsets me. It annoys me that this organisation has such power over people to the point that they have to really, really rein themselves in, and they are obliged to play by the rule book. She's obviously given us lots of thought recently, and she was very close to my late husband, herself and the rest of her family. Her husband, who incidentally is an elder, and her daughters, they were very, very close to him. So I think even trying to keep his memory alive through contacting my son is something that they feel very strongly about. The only thing that they're not allowed to do is speak with me, because I'm the big bad wolf and I'm doomed to destruction when Armageddon comes along. So maybe this is their way of reaching out also to my son to try and save him, and through saving him they may also gain me back. I think maybe is their way of thinking. But it annoys me, it frustrates me. I really even thought that maybe I could pick up the phone, dial the number myself, and then say to her, oh, we've left this message on the answer phone, you want to speak to my son, and put her in a position where she'd have to speak to me on the phone, and I would have been curious to see what she would have said, how she'd have dealt with that situation. But I didn't, and my son just dialed the number himself and spoke to her directly without me speaking to her. But I just wanted to make a quick video and just share that with the rest of you ex-Jehovah's Witnesses that are out there. Luckily enough, I haven't really had really bad experiences of shunning, because I was the only one in my family, except of course for my late husband that was a Jehovah's Witness. So when I left, I just returned to my family and former friends, and nothing really was lost except for this particular family and this particular sister that, like I say, we were very, very close. So yeah, the organisation pretty much plays with people's minds, emotions, and puts bans and all sorts of restrictions on free will. So they're obviously not free, and I can't really on my end do anything much about that. They're bound by the Watchtower's rules and regulations. So but anyway, I'll keep you updated and see how let you know how things pan out. Once they get in contact with my son, if they re-establish connections with him, let you know if they do any of the preachy bits to him. If they kind of try and win him over, and do you want to start a Bible study at all, which I know that it's going to be received with a big no, because my son is an atheist. So that's my little message for the afternoon, and I just hope that you're all okay out there, and thanks for watching, and speak to you another time. Bye.